I'm Dr. Josephine Lewis. I'm Associate Professor of Psychology, and I teach at the Catonsville campus. It's my home campus of CCBC, Community College of Baltimore County. My educational background begins with a bachelor's degree in psychology and a focus with lifespan development. So I got to work with kids all the way through late adulthood. Okay, what inspired me to become a professor and who inspired me was a chance occurrence, because I thought I would be a clinician, because I'm a developmental psychologist, and I thought I would clinically work with children. And then I got to graduate school, and there was an opportunity to teach a course to cover my tuition. And I said, sure, I'll do anything to cover my tuition. And they put me into a course, and I was pretty young at the time, and most of the people in there were either my age or older, terrified. And a few weeks into it, I thought, this is the greatest thing in the world. I can't believe people get paid to do this. And I spent every moment of my spare time figuring out how to teach the course better, or how to reach them, how to encourage them, engage them. By the end of the semester, I couldn't even tell you what research I ever wanted to do, because I said, this, being a professor is, who knew? This is the greatest, I can't believe people have this as a job. Teaching service learning has a profound effect on me as a professor. It's influenced every aspect of the way I teach, of the way I talk about teaching, of the way I look at my community, of the way I think about life, and I'm a parent. So it's impacted the way that I raise my kids. My kids come on service visits with me when it's age appropriate. So it's very much part of their fabric of being. Like it just makes sense to them. Like, why wouldn't you? If I wasn't a teacher, what would I be doing right now? It's a tough question, because when I realized that you could get paid to be a teacher, I couldn't wrap my brain around that. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So I'm incredibly lucky. But if you told me, for whatever reason, that you can never teach again, I'd say, okay, if you take that avenue away from me, I'll go do something else. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know. I do 1,000 things. I do whatever I could get done with as many days as I had. I would, whatever avenue I could go down and enjoy and impact, I would. So I don't have any backup plan. So please don't tell me I can't be a professor anymore. I don't know. The effect that service learning has had on my students is, like I was saying, it's almost hard to put into words, and it would sound a little hokey for me to say it. I almost wish some of them could answer this for me, because it's their experiences. But they write these papers, and I read them, and every semester you go into grading, and you start, and you're reading, and then all of a sudden you put the pen down, and you're just reading these papers going, and I'm rereading it, and I'm reading it to my office mate and my friends and my husband, saying, listen to what's going on. And very recently, one of my students said in his paper, and then we had a chat about it afterwards in a group discussion, he said that when he was at this particular site, it happened to be Our Daily Bread, and he was working with people, and he was helping, part of a very big team of serving food. He said that as much as he did not want to do this, and he searched for ways to get out of this service learning component of our course, he went there against his will. He said very quickly something melted inside him as far as his not wanting to do this assignment. And he said, and it wasn't an assignment anymore. And he said, it was an experience for me. And once I started realizing this is an experience and not an assignment, he said, I was having a different day. And he said, and by the end of the day, and he said, I'm going to write in this paper something that may not mean anything to the reader. And he said, but I felt good about myself. And he said, and that might seem like just words on a paper. And he said, but coming from a young man who doesn't feel very good about himself very often, he said, this was more than an assignment. He said, it was an experience I'll never forget. So those are the kind of days that they have, experiences that will be with them forever. And I say that in the beginning, and I say, but I'm not going to say it much, because if I tell you you're going to have a moving experience, it doesn't mean anything. We'll talk after, and they say that these are things that they'll never forget. And I will poorly paraphrase this quote, but it was something along the lines of, if you tell me, I'll forget. If you show me, I'll remember. But if you involve me, I'll learn. So every time I want my students to walk away knowing something in our curriculum, I think very deeply, how can I involve them in this? Not tell them it, not show them it, but involve them in this. And service learning has been a great tool for that.